Hey guys, we're out on the west side today. We're installing a differential float valve. It's made by Watts. Pretty nifty device they came out with for controlling a level in a tank. Traditionally, you'd have the ball float valve, which was just a long stem with a ball on it that used leverage to open and close a valve. Then from there, we moved on to using solenoid valves, which would use a small electronic circuit wired into control floats to open and close a solenoid valve. We started having trouble with them at different installations where the water would have sediment in it, particularly irrigation systems or raw untreated water, where the irrigation solenoid valve would stop closing all the way or would fail to open. And using that to fill a tank often requires having 24 volts AC or 120 volts AC, float switches wired in, lots of different moving parts all hooked together to maintain a level in a tank. We like those better than the ball float valves. Those sitting underneath all that tension on that ball float usually translate that tension over to the plumbing, and we'd get cracked fittings, cracked pipe. Also, over time, that rubber seat on the ball float valve would fail and slowly drip water in and cause tanks to overflow. So then we found this Watts product, this differential float valve, and we've been really loving installing them. They, I think I've got maybe 10 of them out in the field now, or at least 10. And I haven't had any callbacks yet on them. I've got some of them in places where the water looks like tea or coffee, very high amount of tannin and sediment in the water. The customer we're going to today, they're on an irrigation system that provides water that is sometimes turbid and cloudy, sometimes outright brown and with sediment in it, and even sometimes debris makes it through. They have a strainer on their system, but the turbidity and the sediment, the fines in the water, can cause problems. And so they've had a solenoid valve controlling the filling of their tank, and we got the call about a day ago that the tank was overflowing and that the solenoid had failed to shut. So for us, it's a real easy upsell to put in these new Watts differential valves. We really like them. So we're headed out to put in that valve. With these new valves as well, they shut slowly, which gets rid of any water hammer as the flow slowly accelerates. They also open relatively slow, but not as fast as they shut, which is nice. And then on the float, it has these two smaller blue floats and a levered arm, and you can adjust the string on those two floats to get any kind of bandwidth you'd like between your off point and your on point. And we just really love how that works with these valves. It's really nice. We can customize if we want the tank to fill from halfway or completely full, if we want a real tight bandwidth where everything's together. So yeah, we really like these differential valves. We're going to be changing out the customer's solenoid valve for one of these. Another nice perk of these differential valves is just how simple they are. There's no electricity required to operate them. They just go onto any NPT bulkhead fitting, pipe thread fitting. You can get them 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, 2 inch, and yeah, just incredibly simple to install. And so far, with no callbacks, we're really impressed with just how robust they are in the field in not ideal scenarios, you know, not pure treated water. So being able to handle all types of water and just activate repeatedly without any failure seems really nice. And apparently they are user serviceable. There is a way to open them up and service the parts inside, but again, I haven't had to do that yet, so that's been really nice. All right, we'll see you there. Okay, so here's our Apex differential valve and reservoir valve, Big Al from Watts. It's got two floats on it. And the way these work, as the bottom rises, the valve stays open, and then as the top float rises, the valve will shut. And then as the level goes down, the valve will stay shut until the lower one hangs. And you can adjust these strings. We'll do that once we get them in the tank.